You may have seen the news that Dragon Age the Veilguard is getting dragged because they have this weird scene where a character misgenders a god, I think, and then has to perform a barv, it's called, where they do push-ups because how dare you? How dare you misgender someone? You may also be saying, Tim, holy crap, it's election week. Why? Well, look, there's only so much you can do. Sometimes we want to talk about our cultural issues. And admittedly, this is a pre-recorded segment from earlier in the week because I want to make sure I have segments for you guys. Considering this week is pretty crazy, I figured it'd be fun to talk about some popular culture and shenanigans. So we have this game coming out called Dragon Age. If you're not familiar, it's supposed to be a big AAA release, one of the best games. And the previous Dragon Age games were pretty awesome. The story is that there's a couple right now where a cutscene went viral where I mentioned this character is like, she said this, oh, heavens me, I mean they, better do push-ups. And it's like 2.5 minutes long. And everyone's like, dude, we get it. Jeez, chill, it's kind of creepy. But now you have this story where apparently critics, people who are critical of the game, are not getting review codes, which means they can't play the game because they were not too nice about what they were saying about the game. And look, some of these guys are saying, that's reality, man. If you want to criticize a game, the marketing department's not going to give you access. But that just goes to show people are not happy with the direction of this game as of right now. I don't know. A lot of positive reviews, though. But we'll start here. And then we'll talk about Get Woke, Go Broke. And this game is so psychotically absurd. The story, of course, that I believe is outside of just them withholding review codes. Top surgery scars for character creation in a game where you can turn into a giant spider. Yeah. Okay, let's break down the deranged psychotic mentality of these leftists. First, take a look at this. This one is more normal, but this is where we begin. Wolfhard FPS says 3 creators, myself included, were a bit more critical than others with their hands-on time with Dragon Age the Veilguard. Not a single one of us will be getting a review code with time to actually give opinions before release. It's obvious. You criticize the game for being weird and creepy, they're not going to let you review it because you'll negatively impact sales. I get it. I don't blame them. Take a look at this post from Kotaku in Action. They say these reviews all have the same phrasing in it because it's a cult. Dragon Age the Veilguard is a triumphant return to form, says Checkpoint Gaming. PlayStation Universe says, without a doubt, a return to form. Digital Trends says the Veilguard is a return to form. IGN Portugal says a return to form. Pure Xbox says it's a return to form. Weird. Why are they all saying the exact same thing? Dude, this is creepy. But let's talk about the fantasy elements of a game that's supposed to be fantasy, but needs top surgery scars. The new Dragon Age game will include customizable top surgery scars. An early look at character creation system includes plenty of options for transgender fans of the franchise. So here's a character you can make. And of course, there are mastectomy scars under the chest. And I immediately thought, why? Most of these RPG games exist in a reality where people turn into other people. Like in Baldur's Gate, for instance, there's an extremely common ability where you can transform into any other person, male or female. And it's used by illusionists and rogues with magic powers to trick. So, Baldur's Gate's a fantastic game, by the way. But let's say you play a character who is, there's a drow, right? Drow is one of the races in Baldur's Gate. They're dark under elves. They're elves, but they're like Nazis or something. And so when you're walking around on the surface, people frequently in the game, other characters will just be like a drow here, but you have strange views and you're considered evil. So you can change your form so that you appear differently, and then these things don't happen. You see how that works? But quite literally in the game, you can choose to change from... You can cast a spell to make yourself a female elf or a male elf or whatever you want to do. Here's what they say. Half of the fun of a role-playing game is in character creation. And in Dragon Age the Veilguard, players will find a wealth of riches available to them when the game drops on Halloween next month. Dragon Age, blah, 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 Electronic Arts, blah, blah, blah. Players may also select from a variety of facial scars, including an on-off toggle for top surgery scars, a boon for transgender fans who want their character to reflect their own identity. If you identify as a man, why not just make a man character? Why do you need to have a female character who has top scars? I don't know. I was absolutely blown away, said Scottish transmasculine Twitch streamer Uni Fadewalker, okay, a.k.a. Eddie. in a video on his YouTube channel showcasing his experience with the creator. It's beautiful to see inclusion in the game, and see yourself represented in the game in this way is wonderful. It's a fantasy game. Why would you not just make a character that represents the character you want to play? Okay. You know what this says to me? It says that trans is its own identity for these people. And this is true. You take a look at that story where there were two females who had an OnlyFans, and what they were doing, they stuffed their underwear. Yeah, it's weird. And then were selling subscriptions, and trans women were like, stop mocking my gender. It's like, what? It's just so weird, isn't it? The idea that a person would want to identify as a man, or literally identifies as a man, but they'll make a character that's female with scars who got surgery, shows that their true identity is that in and of themselves. A trans masculine person. That's what they call it. Or a trans man. Not a man. But then they demand you call him a man. Okay. Let's talk about how stupid this is. The Mirror of Transformation in Dragon Age. Ooh, what could this be? The Mirror of Transformation is part of the Black Emporium downloadable content for Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. It allows the player to return to the character creator menu and change their character's appearance. Oh. The Mirror of Transformation is an insidious and twisted device. When you alter your appearance of the device, it doesn't just change who you are, but it changes who you were and will be in the future. It selects from one of the infinite possible universes where you were brought up with a different lineage and twists that thread of history into the current experienced reality. The ripples of this action affect your family and other people's memory of your appearance as well. Heavens me! So in this lore of Dragon Age, the mirror will change your appearance into anything you want. Yeah, but only like your nose size. You can't actually change your gender or race. No kidding. There's a post I have. I don't know if I have it pulled up. Is this it? No, it's not. Where people were saying like, can I use this to change gender or race? Like, no, you can't. It can change your hair color, your facial features, your eyes, and all that, but not gender or race. Okay. The same is true for Baldur's Gate. The question is why? Like, for real, why? It could be because of relationships in these games, but if you're able to just, I don't know, have a relationship with whoever you want, why would it matter in these games when, like, dudes are with dudes and chicks are with chicks? Honestly, I have no idea. But here it is. The lore of a game that makes quite literally no sense, that's resulting in people saying, maybe it's not a good game and doesn't quite make sense. This is what I'm saying about this stuff. You got to watch your kids when they play games like this, because they will inject the ideology into the minds of your children. Now, for one thing, I don't know that I'm a big fan of the overly sensationalized fictional realities that we instill in our children. I think there's a time and place for fantasy and adventure and movies, but I really do feel that it's becoming very heavy. And it's driving weaker-willed individuals into wanting to live in virtual worlds where they can be dragon slayers and they play video games all day. It's more fun. As an adult, I think it's fine. I think for kids need to understand what the world is, how to do hard work, and how to survive. If you put kids in these fantasy realities too soon, their brains break. Not all of them. But man, you know there are actually people who believe Harry Potter is real. I'm not kidding. They think that Harry Potter is real and that J.K. Rowling is a witch who wrote the history of the Great Wizarding War so that everybody would know their history but think it wasn't real and the Muggles wouldn't. They're nuts. But there are people who believe this. There are people who want to be cartoon animals. If you take a young kid and you keep telling them, look at these magical worlds, look at these heroes, look at the things they do, they're going to wish that's what they were. So how many kids wished they were superheroes and grew out of it? That's totally fine. How many people didn't, and they don't, and they become depressed because the world doesn't align with the worldview that they wanted? Yeah, I think that's kind of bad. Ultimately, though, I'm not saying it's that big a deal. The bigger point here is they're going to instill this worldview in kids where it's like, you can be a wizard who can turn into a spider and a bear, and like that's like a huge point of this game or whatever, shapeshifters. I don't think they actually have it pulled up or whatever. You can, like, in the game, you can turn into a bear. It's like a normal, it's like, I'm a shapeshifter, I'm a bear now, and then you fight. But heavens be, if you want to change genders, you need to get top scars, top surgery. The reason they're doing this is because they want children to associate the world of fantasy and magic with this stuff. They want kids to see it and normalize it and accept it and make it a part of their worldview. That's literally what they're doing. There's no debate. That's the point. They say we want kids to be exposed to this. I'm saying it can be confusing for kids. It's fine if adults do what they want to do, but I don't think you should be jamming this stuff down children's throats. Hence, some people are not too thrilled with the latest release, and it's a bummer. I'm a big fan of the Dragon Age games. There's some cringe stuff in them for sure, but this has gone way over the top. Who are they marketing to? I don't know. But hey, look, I am a wealthy late 30s guy. And I am someone who's got disposable income and wants to spend it on things that are fun. I periodically play video games, sometimes, not all the time. Fine. Sell your video games to early 20-somethings who don't have the money to pay for it. Seems weird to me. That's why they say this is a key demo. It's the money spending demo. It's 18 to 34. They're going for the younger bent in that. If they just did Top Scars were available, I'd say nothing. I'd be like, that's weird. But that weird cutscene with the pronouns, I'm like, I ain't playing it. I'm not going to play this game. Dude, get woke, go broke. Keep your weirdo, creepy garbage out of my fighting dragons, okay? Now there's a big controversy with Magic the Gathering because they're having a SpongeBob set, I guess. But I'm stoked on that. I can't wait to make a Squidward deck. Screw you guys. I'm making a Squidward commander and you can't stop me. It's actually silly, but whatever, man. Anyway, it's a special. I recorded this early. Look, I'm going to tell you guys. I like to record certain segments early that are more evergreen. So I have the weekend show up and I can spread out recordings for other shows. But considering election week, I have no idea what's going to happen. Come Friday, we could be living in a bunker. Have fun. Play your video games. Maybe it's what you need. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you all in the next segment.